Hello there, YouTube. I am Necrostevo. And it's time for a new adventure here with the Victorian Shadows. We have been cordially invited to participate in the MGL. And we were invited by Gunk and Maki. And you're hearing a lot of noise because I just dropped my Joy-Con. Because this is Get Ready With Me for when we get ready for our battle. So I've had an inkling to do... What?
I was trying to help you.
Oh, thank you. I've had an inkling to do something a little bit different this season. And that's to show you all what I do when I get ready for my draft battle videos. So number one, this might be helpful for some of you all who want to do draft battles, but you don't gen. And so knowing what to do and kind of where to go get your resources and things like that. You can see that I've already been breeding. I got this idea when I had already started to prepare. So for our first opponent in the MGL, we are actually up against, let me go take a look-see here because I don't want to get anyone's names incorrect. And this is kind of what you can expect as well. I believe it's Adamew, but I'm just making sure. It is Adamew. All right. Or it might be Adamew. Yes, Adamew. I like that. But this is what you can expect from these. It's going to be a lot less polished, I suppose. Just kind of a little bit more chill on here. And just kind of showing how I get ready for a draft video. So I don't know where this recording is going to go. And this will be uploaded separately from the battle video, of course. First, let's do a quick little intro to all the Pokemon that I drafted this season. I believe that would be a great place to start. I do want to give some shout outs to the Council, Travesty, Shroom Raver, Ellie, Amber, all gave me some nice ideas for this team here. And this is going to be a fun, not fully evolved league. So every Pokemon that you encounter on this battlefield for the MGL will be not fully evolved. Thank you, Gunk. Thank you, Maki, for the invite. If I have an inkling to remember, I will put a photo of that up here. Let's see here. So, the Pokemon that we drafted for this season. Our first round pick was Reboot. You can see I have several Score Bunny here. Can I change this over? Yeah, several Score Bunny. But Reboot has a great speed tier for NFE, and of course it has the ability Libero, which I'm going to go change that now, in case I forget. You can see that that Score Bunny has the ability Blaze. I am keeping the Score Bunny because it has the Snow Frolicker for its little mark here, so I thought that was cute. There's a little rabbit playing in the snow. Reboot with Libero can change its type to the move that it uses, and so yeah, it has a great speed tier at base 94 speed, which is really fast for this type of league. When I drafted Reboot as my first round pick, it was to be pretty flexible, was my goal there. I wanted to just have something that could really operate regardless of the type of team that I put it on. Here you can see me looking for, not low sweep, I need low kick. I don't have low kick. Alright, so that's one thing we gotta go run and do. But here, Reboot's gonna have low kick, U-turn, flare blitz, and double edge. It's completely walled by my opponent's Lampent, which we'll get into that later on. But the idea is for it to not really be in against the Lampent in the first freaking place. Low kick over low sweep. So low kick I need just for my opponent's Pupitar. So here, let me just give you all, I'll put it up on the screen, maybe, if I remember. So my team is Reboot, Porygon, Ghastly, Nuzleaf, Rufflet, Vibrava, Mankey, Vulpix, Chinchou, and Paldean Wooper. No Terra Captains because Terastallizing is not involved in this league, so I don't have to worry about that. My opponent Adamew has Pikachu, Servine, Lampent, Zweilous, Cubfu, Tentacool, Pupitar, Munchlax, Dupitor, and Cottony. So now you all at least know what we're doing was the main idea there. So here I'm putting low kick onto my reboot. I accidentally put low sweep on there. Low sweep does base 65 damage and it lowers those speed stats. Here we don't need that. I just want as much damage as possible against the Pupitar. And I was going to go high jump kick for raw damage, but if he swaps in his Lampent, which is very likely, I don't want to just keep going and crash and lose half my HP. So now we at least have the moves for our reboot. Huzzah! After that, on our team, we have our modest Porygon. This Porygon is actually from PixelCon. It was one of the giveaways that we had for a convention that I ran when I was in college. So I still have to figure out nicknames for these. Maybe I'll let you all see that process as well. You can see that everyone here is already level 100. I already managed their levels, which is nice. But I do need to make sure. So we're going to go through first and do everyone's natures. So I need to do Jolly for you. You're already modest. You are going to need Adamant. You're going to need Modest. You're already Adamant. I need you to be Jolly. And you are Relaxed, it looks like. So let's swap some natures around. So for those natures, we use our mints for those. Adamant for you. Adamew, Adamant. Haha. You guys see what I did there? Do you see? Did you see? We're going to need Modest. We're already Modest, so Modest for you. And then we need Jolly for our reboot. And then we need, I believe I settled on, I'm going to look at my little showdown team here. That is for our Wooper. Impish, we are Impish. Let's grab that Impish mint there. I like to generally start off doing my training just in the main city, because here we have access to the Pokemon Center, and then I can run over there for EVs, and then there's another shop over there for items. So there's just a lot of resources here that we can take advantage of. So now everyone's... Nope, I need Jolly on Rufflet as well, so let me do that really fast there. I almost left him Adamant, and I would not have been fast enough if I did that. Oops. Jolly for Rufflet. Alright, so now we can just double check our natures. So, we have Jolly here, Modest, we have our Adamant, we have our Modest, we have our Jolly, and we have our Impish Perfection. I've already done several of the moves on a lot of these Pokemon as well, but that's okay. We'll just make it work here. So I explained Reboot for this matchup here. Really, Reboot just needs to pivot in and out as much as possible. The possible Scarfers that I see from my opponents in would be something like Servine. I could see a Scarf Lampent, maybe Zweilous or Kubfu as well. But if those guys are Scarf, they become a lot easier to deal with. Pikachu is most likely going to hold the Light Ball item. Light Ball will double Pikachu's offensive stats. And so, less worried about Pikachu holding a Scarf, even though that's his fastest Pokemon. So, Reboot here will have heavy-duty boots and just be pivoting around and hopefully get to throw off some big hits. No need to PP max any of these moves just because they're going to be, probably, I'm only going to click each move 2 to 3 times, I would envision. Porygon here will be... How do I want to do this? I need a structure. Okay, so for each of these videos, I will go through and... I think I'm going to go to each Pokemon and max out what they need. So when you're on this screen, you can see the investment that a Pokemon has. I've had this Porygon since something like 2010, so of course it's already maxed out in speed and special attack. But when it's yellow like that, that means that I'm missing and I have not fully invested EVs. So I would guess that Porygon has max special attack and max speed. Here I need to swap that speed into its HP. Reboot also doesn't have any training at all, but I always start off kind of looking at what a Pokemon already has before I start making any adjustments. You can see I have plenty of tomato berries here, and so if you have 252 EVs in speed, that's what will make it sparkle how it did. So I know I only need to use 26 tomato berries to get rid of that speed, and then we can turn right around and use those. Oh, so that extra 4 must have been inside of that HP stack, because I only need to use 25 here. So now when we check our Porygon, we can see, boom, max HP, max special attack, and then I can quickly look at Showdown to see here. Attack should be... This Porygon probably has max, I would say, stats here. Let's look at the... Yep, it's already max Hyper Trained and everything. So... For the attack stat, I just want to make sure that I'm not wasting any EVs in attack, so I will change this to 31 on Showdown. Perfect. It is supposed to be 140. So where's another point at? Max. 176. 187. There we go. Okay. So I'll put one extra point into Spadef. Whenever I'm dealing with that last point, even though it's kind of a waste to use this, because this does 10 EVs when I use a zinc like this. Actually, how many do I have? I have 140, so never mind. We can just use the 6 here, and we'll save the zinc. So now our Porygon is done with this EV training. Let's go ahead and do Reboot as well. For Reboot, I gave it just enough speed to outrun a max speed Pikachu, just to pick up a little bit in that, it's not that much bulk, but it'll be a tiny amount of bulk here. So Reboot here needs max attack, so we don't have enough protein. So let's go ahead and go grab some protein. And this is kind of what I do. I just run back and forth and and vibe out and take just like an hour or so and just build my team. I have no idea how long this is going to be. But yeah, this is just kind of a glance behind the curtain. The shroud that is the Victorian shadows there. So let's go ahead and max out those attack EVs. Now, for some reason, whenever I do the, what's it called? The auction, I always notice how I have way more muscle feathers than I have genius and these other ones here. I hardly ever get the health feathers or the clever feathers. And those are that's annoying because then I end up using a lot more of my other resources. Oops. But you know, that's just kind of where we are there. So I'm going to pull a damage calculator really fast here. Boot. Does that outspeed my... Now, if Pupitar were to be max speed, and go to +1, I'm going to assume 331 speed. Reboot doesn't outspeed that anyway, so that is a great question there. They were just asking me in the Discord here if Reboot can outspeed Pupitar after a DD, and it does not. Double edge, double kick. What? I don't understand. I don't understand Shroom Raver, but no, I do not. But at the point where Pupitar gets a Dragon Dance off, what is my counterplay to that anyway? I would have first impression on my Vibrava. And then I would still have Scarf, Close Combat coming out of Rufflet. So that would be my counterplay to that. The other reason why I'm going with so much HP on my Porygon, generally I don't want it to take physical hits, but in a pinch I need it to be able to take a hit. And that's also why I'm putting Ice Beam on the Porygon. So that'll be fun. So on the Reboot here, I only need 224 speed. So for the speed, we'll pop right on over here. And 224, excuse me. So we'll use these 222 here. And I'll use 4 more on my Swift Feathers. And boom, 224 speed. From there, we have the remainder in HP. So we'll just use these HP ups. And now our Reboot and our Porygon are fully trained and ready for the battle. Confirming the 308 speed there, 271 attack, perfect. And then for the Porygon, let's just confirm 295 special attack and 334 HP. Amazing with that extra one in Spadef. Up next is Vibrava. So Vibrava, I don't know if you all ever do this. I like to have my moves in a certain order from what I think I'm going to click the most frequently. Also, I'll put offensive moves up top and then I'll put setup moves or non-attacking moves at the bottom. But here we have First Impression, Earthquake, Dragon Claw, and Dual Wing Beat. This Vibrava will be holding Life Orb for this battle. Which, can I see that here? I can. Oh man, no one has items. Good gravy. Alright, battle items. No, wait, battle teams. There we go. There it is. There it is. We love to see it. Okay, so we need an Eviolite here. You can see that I'm taking items from my other league that I'm in, the NBBL. And we're going to need an Eviolite here. We're We're gonna need a life orb here. We're gonna need a life orb over here. I don't see a choice scarf in this box. I don't think I have one in this box. I do need these boots. Thank you, Kilowattrel, for the boots. I always like moving the items from the Pokemon like that because it makes me... It's like, hey, can I borrow those boots? I see that you're wearing those. It's just one size fit all. No big deal. Man, do I not have... Okay, I guess I don't. So we need to go to my bag here and grab a choice scarf. That sounds like something that I would have favorited, so we'll go to the top here. Here it is. Alright. Okay, so now everyone has their items. So anyways, Vibrava here. I have it with enough speed to outspeed on max speed, speed increasing nature on this Zweilous. So that's the 244 speed there. Sort these by that type again. Now I don't think I have any... I do not. Oh good, all my remaining Pokemon have no EVs. So when I have a Pokemon that has EVs already, that's why sometimes it's just easier to train multiple forms of a single Pokemon than it is to constantly delete all their stats. I grinded up a whole bunch of Fresh Start Mochi before I had like 180 or something, so I've used a ton. You can see that I don't have that much of the other Mochi because I've already burned through it. But you just use that and then it wipes out all their EVs at once. If I know I'm going to be going up and down, then I'll use the berries instead. But it's really easy to run out of berries because you're usually using 10 or 20 at a time very easily. You can see I don't have that many Hondu berries. So if for some reason I needed to wipe out all of the special attack on something, then I would probably just use a Fresh Start berry because I don't have that many Hondu berries left. Now Vibrava is going to need max attack, which we just bought some protein. Did I have enough left over to max it out? I do not. And we're going to need a lot of speed here. And so I'll let you all see here just for the remaining Pokemon, because I think I'm going to need to buy a fair amount here. Yeah, I functionally don't have anything. So yeah, we're just going to buy everything that I need at once, or try to, rather. So you can come in here, and we can bulk buy. And it looks like the Wooper is going to need max HP. We need max attack on my Vibrava and on the Rufflet. So we'll just buy a whole bunch there. Defense, we're going to do a max on to the Wooper. Special attack, I need a max on the Ghastly. Special defense, I don't really have that anywhere. When it comes to special defense against our opponent, he has some very strong special attackers, but the speed tiers are really in our favor. Now Lampent does get Trick Room, but I'm expecting his Eviolite to be on the Lampent and maybe on the Servine, just because it's so fast and it can recover its HP with Synthesis. I could also see the Eviolite being on the Zweilous or the Tentacool, possibly Pupitar, but I think that those are less likely in this matchup. Last thing here, we need speed, so Vibrava needs 24. Ghastly needs 200. Rufflet needs 240. And Wooper won't need speed. So you can see, just like that, we spent 1,800,000 on the supplements that we're going to need for the battle. If you are needing money in a pinch, I always recommend grinding against Chansey and then using the items in the item printer if you have the DLC. Or there are a variety of Twitch streamers who just have money raids up, and you go on there and you beat up whatever it is that they have, and then they drop ability patches. Ability patches sell for a lot, so it's easy to max out your money with a whole bunch of ability patches. So let's go ahead and get Vibrava's attack. Dunzo. Max attack. I'm gonna do 225. Use 2 of these. And then I also need max attack on EU. Boom. And boom. And then now for Vibrava, what speed tier do we need? We have enough speed to outspeed Zweilous. So Carbos here. That's just 244. 24. And now 4. Haha. Alright. Ghastly is going to be modest with enough speed to outspeed the Kubfu. Ghastly is incredibly frail, which is why we went with Life Orb on it. I do think I'm going to be using First Impression on Vibrava a lot, which is why I went with Life Orb there. And having Levitate and resisting the Stealth Rock, I'm less worried about taking entry hazard damage there. Ghastly, if I'm able to get it on the field, unless he brings the Munchlax, which is why I'm going to put Toxic onto this Ghastly. But if he doesn't have the Munchlax, then I'm just going to be throwing off attacks. If he does have the Munchlax, I would really like to Toxic it. So 19, and then 2 more will be our Ghastly speed stat. And then Ghastly needs Calcium for special attack. Oops. And then boom. And the rest goes into HP, which I don't know how much that's going to matter with Ghastly, but maybe. It could help against like a knockoff, because that won't necessarily KO there. Alright, so Ghastly's EVs are done. Let's move on to our Rufflet, who also needs some speed. We have 240 speed on our Rufflet. I like that I'm 1 short with what I need on Rufflet. Good math there. Whenever I come and I buy a whole bunch of supplements here at the, we'll call it the store, but really it's like an apothecary kind of. But since I'm training so many Pokemon, I just picture the person being like, you okay? And that's why they tell me to follow the recommended dosage, because they're trying to escheat their liability of, yo, this trainer came in, he was wearing a helmet, and he dropped a milli on supplements and left, didn't say a word. So just, we're not liable. We told you to follow the dosage. It's like, it's not for me. I promise. This is for my Pokemon. I'm insane. Yeah, that's just kind of what I envision there. Alright, so that's Rufflet. And now we just need our Paldean Wooper. Now for Wooper, I had a tough choice. For Wooper, I could have gone Unaware, or I could have gone Water Absorb. My opponent has access to Dupeter and Tentacool, both of which will use Water-type moves. But I am slightly thinking that, number one, I don't think Dupeter comes to this battle. I just have so much that can hurt it that I don't think it's going to come. But if it does come, it's slower than everything. So we could like Trick Room into Dupeter. But I could have Water Absorb in 2 different places on my team, and so I just don't foresee that being an option that he goes for this match. I think it's much more likely that we'll see the Tentacool with some sort of annoying, bulky Eviolite set to try to remove items with knockoff. And so that's why I have Earthquake here. And then I also can do a lot of damage to it with Psychic, which I need to put onto Ghastly. Do I have Psychic? I do not. Do I have Psychic? Gosh darn it, I gotta go over it. Okay. But yeah, that's the idea there. Let's go ahead and grab my Wooper's stuff. Max HP, max defense. I am just going max here because I think it's much more likely that I have to contend with the... That allows... I think I still take a hit from Zweilous. Let me just confirm that before I waste my stuff here. Wooper. I also would need to take a hit from the Pupitar. That is the wrong Wooper. I need Paldean Wooper. So boom. So yes, max, Impish. So a Pupitar, we'll assume, we'll say it's like max attack Pupitar using Earthquake. Earthquake does 70% to my Wooper. Since I'd be unaware, I don't have to worry if he has like a +1 or something like that. Oh, looks like +1 isn't even a guaranteed kill, which is really nice. That is going jolly. So if he's adamant Pupitar with +1 could be a problem. But as I said before, then that's something that Vibrava could potentially come in on. If I do First Impression Vibrava, and I have my Life Orb, and I'm adamant as well, then, oh man, that doesn't do any damage. Because that's not even if he has. Alright, let's look at Porygon instead, actually, because Porygon will have a super effective Ice Beam. So Porygon, max HP, max special attack. We'll put Ice Beam down here. Oh yeah, Porygon always KOs with an Ice Beam, which is really nice. Pupitar, even if it's max attack +1, can only do a max of 63% to Porygon. Whereas, that's a download boost. No, I need a trace. I need trace. I'm not using download here. Okay, yeah. So Porygon into any other hit will finish that off. And I also, that's not even including close combat coming out on my Rufflet. So I actually have 3 different items of counterplay into Dragon Dance Pupitar, which is really nice. I prefer to not let my opponent get the Dragon Dance. It's the best way to approach that. But as, you know, sometimes your opponent just has different ideas about what's going to happen in the battle. They want to win, I want to win. It doesn't always pan out the way that you think that it might. So we're going to go max defense here on Wooper. And 2 more. And as always, I should have bought a couple more HP ups. So we buy some more HP ups. Boom. Oh, that time they told me to take care, you know? They're like, hey, don't overdose on these HP ups. Wooper, max HP. And throw 2 health feathers in there. And then we'll use a Z. Actually, I think I have a lot of... I did. We'll use 6 of these. Okay, so the first thing I always do before I finish with the moves is let's just go through and check their stats. So Reboot and Porygon I know are correct. So let's move on down to Vibrava. 262 attack. And 237 speed, perfect. The rest in HP. Oh, I haven't done HP on Vibrava. So let's do that right now. Alright, so now Vibrava should have 244 HP, perfect. After that we have our Ghastly, special attack. We already know that 100 is always 328, and then 244 speed on Ghastly, and then 217, perfect. Rufflet should be hitting 240 speed. What did I do wrong? He only has 237 speed. Is Rufflet fully trained is the next question after that. Oh. What? What did I mess up? He only has 237 speed. Oh, no, that's right, that's right. Okay. I was looking at the number of EVs versus the stat it was supposed to be. So 237, and then 265 on attack. So, Rufflet, another thing about Rufflet is it can one-shot the whole team with Brave Bird. I really liked Shroom Raver's idea to put Facade here, because Pikachu can have static. That's not ideal, because then that invalidates my Choice Scarf. But also the Lampent can use Flame Body, and that would neuter all my moves except for Facade as well. So I can always get that one strong hit off in the Lampent with Brave Bird. But if the Pikachu isn't around, or if the Pupitar aren't around, then I can just lock in a Brave Bird against everything. Hustle means that everything has 80% accuracy, which isn't great. But the sheer damage that I'm trading off there, I only need to hit once or twice across the whole team to make it worth it. On the Wooper, Earthquake, Toxic, Spikes, or Recover, I just need to get up 1 spike. I only need 1 spike. That is my general goal here for this matchup. He doesn't have anything really off the ground, and 1 spike goes a really long way. He can remove it with Tentacool, but if he tries to spin, I'm bringing in Ghastly immediately. He might just always knock off with Tentacool first, but I will be maintaining that spike. So let's go finish up the moves that we need for our team. I need a couple more TMs that need to be made here. And then we'll be shalam bam boobily ready to go. Alright, so filter for learnable moves. We need Psychic on our Ghastly. Yep, I'm gonna put Psychic here. Normally I would go Thunderbolt, but I'm afraid of giving Pikachu a free Lightning Rod boost when it's already hitting so hard. So we're going to throw that right there. And go here. And Toxic. Ugh, I need to KO some more Ekans. I don't really use Toxic that much, honestly. But when there's a... Granted, Munchlax can totally have immunity, so using Toxic isn't a cure-all to it, which maybe I should put, maybe Poison Dart would be better on Wooper. Maybe. I'll put Toxic on 1, and and I'll put Poison Jab on the other. So there's the Toxic onto Ghastly. And yeah, I'll switch Toxic to Poison Jab on Hooper, just so I have an offensive way to hit the Cottony, and that'll also give me a way to hit Munchlax in case it is immunity. I think it's more likely that it'll be Thick Fat, just because I have the Vulpix there, I have the Flare Blitz coming out from the reboot, I have the possible Ice moves from both Porygon and Chinchou for that matter, so I think Thick Fat is more likely, but we will just hinge for both of those options there. Poison Tail, Poison Jab. Alright, so we're going to throw this right here on. I don't think it learns it through level up. Let me see really fast. Do you learn Poison Jab? Oh, it does. Sweet. Let's save the materials. Okay. So the other thing that I normally have to do is go through and see which moves are worth PP upping. So for example, on Porygon, I'm going to need to PP up basically everything just because it's going to have Recover, and it might be sitting on the field for a minute. Nice Beam. But I also would need to PP up Close Combat because I anticipate that that's a move that I will need a lot over the course of the season. And then of course, PP up for any recovery moves. Now that recovery moves have a lot less PP, we just need to make sure that those are always at 8. So you'll see me using it on those types of moves. I generally don't waste it, or rather use it, on moves that I don't think I'm going to be clicking as much. That has never bitten me in the butt. I will say if I'm going up against stall teams, I will just max out everything in the event that I'm in that situation where it's like, this is now very annoying. But like with Ghastly, for example, I'm probably never going to delete Sludge Bomb and Shadow Ball from this Pokemon. So I will go ahead and max out Sludge Bomb, because 10 uses in one battle, we definitely might need more than that. Here, First Impression, I don't think I would need that more than 10 times, but I could see using Earthquake a little bit more, and so we're gonna bump Earthquake up just a few. Same thing with Tri Attack here. Those are moves where I see myself not deleting them from that Pokemon, and that's where sometimes you'll just see me breed an entire new Pokemon because it's like I don't want to delete those moves from that Pokemon. Same thing with Close Combat here. And that's why some legendaries just don't work for me, because it's just annoying to go in and PP max every single move, and I only have one legendary, so I'm deleting it. It'd be different if I retaught the move, the PP max would stay, but it doesn't. You'd have to go in there every single time and do it, and that's just annoying. So I don't do that every single time. And I'm all out of PP ups, so we'll buy 20 more of those. Other things that are interesting to me is that there is a cap on how much money you have. So if I try to sell all of my ability patches, which I wouldn't because sometimes I need them for the ability, it'll say you can't hold more money than 9,999,999. And you would think that there just wouldn't be a cap on something like that, honestly. But you'd be incorrect. So, yeah, I think that those are good. I think that these are good. Yeah, let's go ahead and max these Earthquakes out. Moves like Earthquake and Close Combat are probably my most often increased move when it comes to my PP up, PP max there. I also had a funny thing happen a couple of days ago for a previous battle where I needed a big nugget for a fling strat, and I had sold all of my treasures, and so I had to go and grind, aka go to the item printer for big nuggets. So now I have 2 big nuggets because I have one on the Pokemon that used it. But during the course, this whole tab was empty, and so it took me getting this many items just to land on 2 big nuggets, because I normally just sell all my treasures. So note to self, don't sell this big nugget. I'm going to favorite it just in case. I also have one in the box, but generally you want to have 2 to 3 of any item just in case you do lose it and you don't have to hunt through your boxes for it. So yeah, so let's just do a quick team recap here. So we have Reboot here with enough speed to outrun max speed Pikachu, And ideally, it's just going to be clicking U-turn and doing a decent amount of damage to everything, just chipping things down. And in the event that the lamp pin is down, then I just get to throw off free flare blitzes, which is really nice. I put heavy-duty boots onto my reboot, just to make sure that if he gets up stealth rocks, that it's not too annoying. After that, we have Porygon. This is one of our Eviolites. For this season, we only get 2 Eviolites per team, and it also can't be on our S tier, which is our reboot. So Porygon here has Tri-Attack, Shadow Ball, Ice Beam, and Recover. And I brought, oh, it still has download. Gosh darn it. I was about to say I have Trace, so that I can trace the ability from Lampin. If it has Flash Fire, I can trace Pikachu's Lightning Rod and be immune to the electric move. I can trace, what else is useful to trace here? I can also trace, I don't think Inner Focus will be super useful because nothing here has Fake Out except for the Pikachu, and I don't foresee that being brought. I can trace Prankster from the Cottony and have priority recover. I can trace the Water Bubble from Jupiter and not be able to be burned. I can trace immunity from Munchlax or even Thick Fat, which will mean that the fire moves coming out of Lampin will do less damage. I can also trace Shed Skin, which means if I do get status, I can possibly get rid of it. So there's just a lot of useful abilities to trace there. So Porygon gets what? Download and adaptability. So I think this is an ability pad situation. No, wait. I think it's a capsule. Let's see if I'm right. Yeah, it's a capsule. Alrighty. So, back to it. So we have Trace, Levitate, Levitate, Hustle, and Unaware. Okay, the rest of the abilities are correct. After that, we have an offensive Vibrava, also with the Life Orb. The idea there is just to be able to have good physical attacks across the entire team. Dual Wing Beat is there just in case Cottony comes. But Cottony is much slower than Vibrava, so... and I also don't have to worry about Thunder Wave against it. It can Encore me, which could be annoying depending on what my previous move was. We have a Life Orb Ghastly. Ghastly is really, really high special attack on base 100 special attack for a not fully evolved Pokemon. Not even bothering with Focus Sash, we just want to get as much damage as possible with Ghastly. Sludge Bomb, Shadow Ball, Psychic, and Toxic. We are going with these moves just to make sure that we can always hit the Tentacool. Generally, I can Sludge Bomb every single thing here on the team except for Lampin and Tentacool, and both of those are hit by the Shadow Ball. But I also have that on the... generally, I should just be throwing off attacks, because even Munchlax won't really like taking a Sludge Bomb unless it's Eviolite, and that's why I have Toxic there. After that, we have a Choice Scarf Rufflet. This is faster than everything on his team with our Choice Scarf here, and it'll also help me out in case he gets to +1 on something like the Pupitar, or if he's bringing a scarf on something weird like Jupiter, because he's trying to be really... I don't think he'd do that. He'd probably set up a Trick Room. But yeah, it's just there to be fast and to hit things. Be fast, spank ass, as it were. And then we have a physically defensive Paldean Wooper, excuse me. I need to go through and nickname everyone, so we might do that in a little bit here. Yeah, this is my general answer. It just needs to get up 1 spike to have accomplished its goal in this match. So that is the team and the roster. So I'm going to go through and come up with some nicknames before the battle, and I'll see you all again for the battle. Thank you all so much for watching my little get ready with me, and let me know if you'd like to see these for future videos. I don't have to do them all the time, but in the future it might just be more kind of just vibes and whatever I feel like talking about. And maybe you all want to listen to this as you're falling asleep or something, and you just want to kind of know what I prep for the battle. And yeah, that is the idea. I'll talk to you all in the future. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Good night.